帮我夹一个，100块。
好，各位同学，那我们今天就欢迎欢迎哈志豪来给我们介绍菲律宾如何打击毒品犯罪。哈，哈志豪，那各位同学啊，哈志豪他是来自于菲律宾移民局嘛，哈。那志豪，你方便 ？Would you first introduce yourself? Where are you come from? What's your expert?
OK， 大家好，我是哈志豪。
哦，那你中文这么棒，我有点。
My English name is Hussein Harun.
Hussein Harun.
From the Philippines.
Philippines.
I work in the immigration.
Immigration.
Yes. So in this afternoon, I will be discussing the Philippines war on drugs. So the war on drugs is the Philippines comprehensive initiative launched to confront escalating crisis of drug abuse and trafficking affecting the nation. So let us first discuss the background and legal basis. So before the war on drugs was initiated, it was used by then President Rodrigo Duterte in his campaign during the 2016 presidential election. So when he was elected, there were issues about the war on drugs, and an interview conducted by Al Jazeera was conducted with the president to discuss his program or his platforms. So let us hear some of the excerpts from his interview with Al Jazeera.
Let's talk about the war on drugs now. 3,500 people have been killed so far. It seems like the whole world is talking about it at the moment. The Philippines seems to have so many problems. So why launch what is a brutal war on drugs?
Because the sheer number of people contaminated.
这是总统吗？哦，我以为那个记者是总统，这才是杜特地的哈。
You know, this lives.
这是杜特地嘛哈？对。抱歉。President.
Yes.
Legitimate encounters with the police.
But the fact is, at the moment, we have 3,500 people killed, and you yourself alluded to just then that perhaps some of them weren't legitimate targets.
You know, there is no crime at all when you threaten criminals with death. In my country, at least, there is no law which says I cannot threaten criminals. And that was the favorite, of course, the cliche that they used. It became a cliche over time. And when I asked President, I said, we have 3 million, according to PDA, 3 million drug addicts. Not counting mine, because it's still going on. So I said, if we do not interdict this problem, the next generation will be having a serious problem. And I again same. You destroy my country, I'll kill you. And it's a legitimate thing. If you destroy our young children, I will kill you. That is a very correct statement.
伟洲，等下你方便翻译一下吗？他讲内容。
他那个口音我听不太懂。
The interest of the next generation. That 3 million addicts. It's not. They are not a residence of one compact area or contiguous place. They're spread all over the country.
Okay, so in the interview with President Duterte with Al Jazeera, he insisted that the war on drug is necessary to be implemented for the protection and preservation of the country's future.
志豪，你的英文比总统还好。
Well,
Your English is more better than the president.
So he treated the war on drug as a public safety, a national security, and as a social order. So it has created significant social and political division among the legislator as well as the public. while some of our countrymen support the government's approach on war on drugs, some are hesitant and fear of their safety as this triggers on the alleged human rights violation. According to the President, the legal basis for this program is the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002, also known as Republic Act 9165. And then in 2010, I think, there was a Republic Act 10640, which strengthened the anti-drug campaign of the government, amending the Section 21 of RA 9165. So this legislation outlines the measures and penalties in deterring the drug-related crimes, demonstrating the government's commitment to address the pressing social issues such as the drug problem. So, despite the importance of RA 9165, there have been challenges and critiques on the implementation of this law. It ignited a debate among lawmakers, legal experts, and human rights advocates. Critics questioned the overall effectiveness of this act, which significantly reduces the drug-related crimes, prioritizing the persistent drug problems, rampant corruption within the law enforcement. So the law's purpose is to focus on reducing youth drug addiction through early intervention, educational programs, accessible treatment options, and community outreach to raise awareness of drug dangers. Also, the law cited that with its implementing rules and regulation, it will coordinate law enforcement and use advanced technology to dismantle organized crimes and disrupt drug distribution nationwide. It also increased the capacity and capability of the police force to effectively address drug-related crimes involves a comprehensive strategy. So, the strategy and implementation of the war on drugs. With the enactment of RA 9165, which organizes the Philippine Drug Enforcement System, with the new dangerous drug boards serving as the policy and strategy formulation body, and the establishment of a single mission drug agency, which is called the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency as the implementing arm. With the help of the Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines, assisting the enforcement of anti-drug policies and provide support during drug-related operations at arrest. So there was a program introduced by the PNP, the Philippine National Police, which is the Oplan Double Barrel. So this program is an extensive anti-drug campaign strategy to initiated during the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte in 2016. So this ambitious program was designed to address the widespread issues of illegal drug use and trafficking that plague the country. So the Oplan Double Barrel is composed of two components. First is the Project Tokhang, or the lower barrel, and Project High Value Target, upper barrel. So what is Project Tokhang, or lower barrel? So the term Tokhang is derived from a Visayan word meaning to knock, tuk-tuk, and to plead or hangyo. Law enforcement and local officials are visiting homes of suspected drug users and minor dealers to encourage them to voluntarily surrender and halt illegal drug activities. This initiative sought to encourage individuals with drug dependence to voluntarily seek rehabilitation. However, the Tokhang operation became controversial due to the report of extrajudicial killings of suspects allegedly resisting, also known as nanlaban, meaning fought back. So local government units and the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency has list of suspected drug dealers and users. So whenever they have an intelligent reports on individuals, they will come to their house and ask if that person resides in the house and encourage them to surrender or to enter rehabilitation. But for the past years, it has been an issue. It has been an issue if the Operation Tokhang was effective, at the same time safe for the public. There were alleged human rights violation on the Project Tokhang, which is currently being investigated at the Congress. The next component of the program is the Project High Value Target, or the Upper Barrel. This initiative aims to identify and dismantle high-level drug syndicates and traffickers within the country. So, as mentioned earlier, the President has a list of individuals composing highly elected officials, members of the law enforcement, and some high-profile individuals. The operation targets key figures in drug trade, including notorious drug lords, financial backers, and protectors like law enforcement and political figures who support these activities. A common example of this Project High Value Target was the detention of then former Senator Laila de Lima. So she was arrested, at the same time charged with different cases alleging she was part of the drug trafficking in the Pilibid, or in the prison. But fortunately, in 2023, there was a case. There was the dismissal of a case against former Senator de Lima, which dismisses her as affiliation to the drug trafficking in prison. So she was proven innocent and was able to released from the from captivity. Also, the PDEA has a three-pronged strategy. So first, we have discussed the Philippine National Police Strategy. Now we discuss the three-pronged strategy of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. So there are three components. First is the supply reduction. Second is the demand reduction. And third is the harm reduction. So in supply reduction, law enforcement efforts focus on reducing the availability of illegal drugs through strategies such as intelligence gathering, drug interdiction, and dismantling syndicates. The tactic includes raids, arrests, and seizing drugs and production equipment. While the demand reduction aims to reduce illegal drug demand through education, community engagement, and rehabilitation. The PDEA works with schools and local governments on awareness campaign and anti-drug education to support drug user treatment. And lastly, the harm reduction, which works with health agencies and non-government agencies to reduce the negative effects of drug use by offering rehabilitation programs, establishing treatment centers, and promoting harm education policies for those affected by addiction. So in overall, according to the PDEA, the Philippine Drug War statistics as of February 28, 2022, there are 6,235 deaths, suspects since the launch of this program, July 1, 2016, and there are 331,694 arrests of suspected drug users through anti-drug operation, and 14,648 high-value targets arrested. So these figures are available from the PDEA's website, and some of them can be validated in their websites of the government. But the human rights organization as well as private sectors contradicts the figures, since a lot of deaths that are associated with the drugs are not recorded. So they argue that the 6,235 is an understatement of the real number of deaths during the drug war.
estimated.
Yes, yes, Lausha. So they believe that the deaths associated with the drug operation could be more than the 6,235.
Very serious.
Yeah, so this 6,235 is only the figures issued by the government agencies, but Human Rights Watch and non-government organizations believe that it is more than this figure.
Crime dark figure. 犯罪黑数了。Crime dark figure.
Yes. So according also to PDEA, they have confiscated a total of 7 billion pesos or $128 million of narcotics, composing of 9,915 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, or what we call shabu. Shabu is the local term for crystal methamphetamine. 10,110 kilograms of marijuana, 524 and 63 kilograms of cocaine, and 163,295 kilograms of ecstasy or party drugs. So the alleged human rights violation and controversies. So as mentioned earlier, there were alleged human rights violation in the war on drugs by the Philippines. One of these is extrajudicial killings. So extrajudicial killings or extrajudicial execution happen when someone in an official position deliberately kills a person without any legal process, such as arbitrary deprivation of life, which can also be carried out by militias, death squads, or other non-state actors, often target political opponents, activists, or marginalized groups. So as you can see in this picture on the left, it is a picture taken from a newspaper, The Inquirer, which shows a person dead in Operation Tokham. So they believe that the operation is associated with extrajudicial killings. So a criticism of war on drugs is regarded as one of the criticism in war on drug is the EJK, because it disregards due process. So suspects can be killed based solely on suspicions of drug involvement without formal charges or a chance to defend themselves, violating the principle of presumption of innocence. One of the major prominent case in this EJK is Kian de los Santos. So Kian is a teenager. She was alleged a drug-related suspect, but the family of Kian insists that the kid was just in the place where the police were conducting a drug operation, and he was killed during the operation. So the family asked for the justice for Kian de los Santos in this picture. Whistleblowers have reported serious abuses, including the planting of evidence to justify murders and existence of kill lists that target specific individuals. They assert that the suspects killed engaged in violence resistance, claiming confrontational behavior justifies the law enforcement officers' retaliatory actions. So in this picture, in the below picture, where a woman holds his partner, courtesy of a newspaper in the Philippines, The Inquirer, it portrays the suspected drug user was killed. A drug suspect was killed in the middle of the night during the drug operation. And the partner, the woman in this picture, claims that his partner, already surrendered to the law enforcement and admitted that he was a drug user. But in the end, he was still killed by the operation. The police or the law enforcement insisted that the man fought back during or resist arrest during the operation. So the International Criminal Court is launching a preliminary examination into reports of alleged extrajudicial killings linked to the Philippine War on Drugs, focusing on potential crimes against humanity and human rights violation targeting civilians. So in 2019, the Philippines withdrew their membership in the International Criminal Court due to the reason that the former President Duterte asserts that the ICC, or the International Criminal Court, has no jurisdiction in the Philippines to try any charges on such as human rights violation. So the ICC insisted that though the Philippines withdrew their membership, they can still pursue charges since the killings, or since the occurrence of those incidents happened when the Philippines is still a member of the ICC. So currently, the ICC is building a case against the perpetrators of alleged perpetrators of war on drugs in the Philippines.
志豪，剩下2 minutes。
2 minutes.
OK
Okay.
Sorry 你报告的非常好了 ，Good。2 minutes。
2 minutes to
end.
To end. Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so legacy and changes. So,
Sorry.
after the war on drugs, on March 14, 2022, the Philippine National Police launched the anti-illegal drug operation through enforcement and education, which is what we call ADOR. ADOR. So this ADOR aims to address drug abuse by integrating law enforcement with educational efforts. So this program is more relaxed compared to the Oplan double barrel, which was being implemented in the previous years. So currently, there is currently a drug war probe in the Philippine Congress. So as we speak, there is a legislative inquiry on the war on drugs under the Duterte administration. And in the Senate, when the president was invited to shed light for this drug on war, this was his statement.
等一下，志豪，菲律宾的国会也有调查权的。
I'm sorry.
菲律宾的国会也有调查权。
So this statement was just captured last month during the Senate
有没有 hearing
just last month.
杜特地。
Yeah.
My job as president.
各位，你看，菲律宾的国会在调查总统啊，国会有调查权。他应该在辩护吧 ？He defend 嘛。
To address the problem of illegal drugs firmly and without compromise. For all of its successes and shortcomings, I alone take full legal responsibility.
好，志豪，那我们就到这里结束了哈。好，谢谢你。